What's up, guys? Hope we're doing well. I saw Molly Morrison on Twitter do an NBA version of this, so I was like, the heck? I'll just do my NFL version of this. So here's my list of the teams that are most down bad before the NFL draft. I'll link Molly's video down below. We start off with the least down bad team, which is unfortunately the Philadelphia Eagles. They just won the Super Bowl. According to PFF, every Super Bowl win gives you 7 years of talking trash ability. We're gonna be hearing from these Johns for a while. Obviously, winning comes with a price, though. They're already starting to lose pieces. CJ Gardner-Johnson, go Gators. He's out. Darius Slay to the Steelers. He's gone. Josh Sweat, now a Cardinal. But they've got a great young secondary in Reed Blankenship, Quinyon Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean. They have arguably the best running back in the game with Jalen Hurts. I'm just joking. The tush push still hasn't been banned. But honestly, this is all because of one person, and that person's name is Howie Roseman. As long as they have Howie, they'll figure out a way. That's what Gators do. Howie, if you hear this, leave them. Please. Okay, moving on. We've got the Chiefs. Y'all have won 2 Super Bowls in the past 3 years. Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback. I don't want to hear anything from you guys. Matter of fact, if y'all never win another Super Bowl in my lifetime, that will be okay with me. Y'all are wiling now. Andy Reid's a great coach. I'm not gonna say anything negative or positive about Taylor Swift. We're moving on. Number 3, I got the Ravens. The Ravens are not down bad at all. They have Lamar Jackson, the best mobile quarterback of all time. Just ask Michael Vick. Pair him with Derrick Henry, who is a beast. I know this. I interviewed this man. His head was almost as big as my thigh. You've just got a recipe for greatness. They just need to figure out how to put everything together in the playoffs. I do always feel like they're one receiver away, though, and I still feel that way. Moving on. We've got the Bills. The Bills could have easily been 3, but I do feel like they are actually cursed. Like, I'm not even playing around. There are some people who say Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes, and you could argue that last season. With that being said, Josh is a unicorn. He's one of a kind. As long as the Bills have Josh Allen, they have a chance of winning Super Bowl. We'll see how things play out with James Cook if he's able to get a new contract. Matt Milano went to my high school. Aw, DP. Please stay healthy. Moving on. We have the Washington Commanders. Left hand up. Right now, this team might have the most hope out of any team in the NFL. And that's mainly because Dan Snyder is no longer their owner. Honestly, I could list them as number 1 for that fact alone. But this team was 1 game away from playing in a Super Bowl, which is crazy. They traded for Deebo Samuel for a 5th-round pick. They got Laramie Tunsil. This is the actual NFC East team that's going all in. Dan Quinn is cooking with grease. With all that being said, I really do think the Commanders were a product of an easy schedule. I fully expect them to take a step back this year, but don't tell any Commanders fan that. Up next, we have the LA Rams. Some people are like, why are they ranked this high? Shouldn't they be lower? No. People forget this team won a Super Bowl 4 years ago. Remember, PFF. It's in the 7 years still. The fact that this team went all in, won a Super Bowl, and is already competing again is wild. Jerry Jones! I'm just saying. Sure, Stafford's getting older, right? You lost Cooper Kupp, but you still got Puka. Now's the time to find Stafford's replacement, get him trained up. I personally would not trade for Levis, though. We got the Lions up next. This team could have done so much better last year if it weren't for injury. A fully healthy Lions team, I think, could have competed with the Eagles last season. I do expect the Lions to be competitive this year. Look for them to draft whoever the Packers are eyeing in the 1st round. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks, my hometown team, closest team to Orlando. The Bucks are a streaky team. When they're hot, they're hot. And when they're not, they're not. Retaining Mike Evans basically guarantees you another 1,000-yard receiver. Keeping Chris Godwin was also a huge bonus. Returning Levante David, crucial move as well. They did lose their offensive coordinator to the Jags in a very weird manner, but the Bucks go as Baker goes. And he's been playing great recently. Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings. This is an interesting one because they had a great record last year. Kind of folded in the playoffs. Sam Darnold, really kind of an enigma. He's at the Seahawks now. We don't know anything about JJ McCarthy other than he's coming off a meniscus tear. What we do know is the Vikings have arguably the best receiver in Justin Jefferson. And honestly, the Vikings are rated this high because they didn't sign Aaron Rodgers. Up next, we have the Houston Texans. The Texans are another team I think greatly benefited from an easy schedule. Look at their schedule. Apart from the Week 5 win against the Bills, who did they actually beat? They do have CJ Stroud, and it does seem like management hates him, as they are trading away all his pass blockers. Laramie Tunsil's gone. We'll see how Cam Robinson plays out. They have great skill position players, though. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Christian Kirk. Plus, they just added CJ Gardner-Johnson. Go Gators. But none of that matters if they can't protect CJ Stroud. Up next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were a really good team last year. They just couldn't win any of their close games. They bring back wide receiver 1A and wide receiver 1B in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, respectively. They got Joe Burrow. They are not down bad at all. As long as he can stay healthy, they'll be fine. I know what you're thinking. Scooter, what are you doing? Why are the Cowboys ranked this high? This is clear bias. This is a homer pick, and you're absolutely right. I don't care what you say. Cowboys were 12-5 the past 3 seasons. QB1 goes down. We still went 7-10. This was arguably the worst injured team I have ever seen in my life, especially my whole time watching the Cowboys. We get Dak back, who should have won the MVP over Lamar Jackson, which we won't even get into that. We get Diggs back. We get Overshown back sometime this year. We get Bland back. We've added a lot of former first-round picks to the roster in the offseason. If just one of them hits, we're up, and we're up big. Plus, we have the 12th overall pick. We're gonna get our wide receiver too, or a dynamic running back. Come back at the end of the season and tell me if this was wrong, because it won't be. Up next, we have the Packers. I just am not sold on Jordan Love. I'm sorry. Some games he looks great, and those just happen to be when he's playing the Cowboys for some reason. Other games he looks mid and very mid. What are they gonna do with Jair Alexander? Josh Jacobs though, great fit. The Los Angeles Chargers are up next, and they are the lowest rated team that made the playoffs for a good reason. It's mainly because Justin Herbert's wide receivers outside of Lat McConkey hate him. They keep dropping passes. It is crazy. They might have a record for most drop passes. Someone needs to look this up. They just need O-line help and a receiver to pair with Lad. They'll be fine. The Seattle Seahawks. What are y'all doing, bro? I hate every move that you made this offseason. What are y'all doing? Y'all traded Geno Smith to the Las Vegas Raiders. Y'all signed Sam Darnold. I don't think that's an upgrade, personally. You traded DK Metcalf for a second-round pick. I don't think you can get a DK Metcalf in the second round. DeMarcus Lawrence will not save you. I think the Seahawks got far worse this offseason. With that being said, I think they can beat every other team that comes after them on this list. The Denver Broncos. Personally, I do not believe in Bo Nix. I am not a believer, but some Broncos fans do. Brandon Perna, I'm looking at you. You don't always have to have an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I mean, look at the Eagles. I'm joking. I actually like Jalen Hurts. He just happens to be on the Eagles. But look at Trent Dilfer. Look for the Broncos to add a dynamic running back. They might even trade up for an Amari and Hampton in the draft. You heard it here first. And who knows, maybe I will become a believer one day. Maybe not. I just saw him play at Auburn. He was garbage. The Cardinals are in a bad spot because the worst thing you can be in the NFL is average. And that is pretty much what the Arizona Cardinals are. Kyler Murray needs help. He's shown some flashes, like a Call of Duty sniper. They did sign Trey McBride, got an extension for him. That'll be good. But he needs more. He's running for his life every play, it seems like. Something's got to change it. The Miami Dolphins. First of all, Tua is one hit away from never playing football again. Tyreek Hill getting investigated again. Jalen Ramsey on the trade block. They're down bad. Things are not going good in Miami. Like, will they even be able to trade Tyreek or Jalen Ramsey? Things are not looking too bright in Miami. The San Francisco 49ers. Them being this low on this list gives me joy. This is the only other team that is worse than the Dallas Cowboys at signing their players. Brock Purdy, where's his extension? And because they take so long to sign their players, now they're letting everyone go for cheap. Debo's gone. Dre Greenlaw's gone. Kyle Juszczyk, gone. Charvarius Ward, gone. They're trying to do what the Rams did after they won the Super Bowl and kept all their roster and it didn't really work out, so they just let go of a whole bunch of people. Y'all are not the Rams, though. Let's move on. The Steelers. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The worst thing you can be in the NFL is average. And that is the epitome of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. Except now, they don't even have a starting quarterback. Who's going to play quarterback for the Steelers? I hope it's not Aaron Rodgers. In fact, they're ranked this high because Aaron Rodgers is not their quarterback, and the fact that they also have TJ Watt on their team. Atlanta Falcons. They don't look so dumb now for selecting Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. They're still on the hook for Kirk Cousins, who's injured everywhere, it seems. Bijan Robinson, a bright spot. Still believe in Kyle Pitts. Go Gators. Speaking of Gators, Anthony Richardson cannot stay healthy. And I don't even blame him. I blame the offensive coordinator who's calling plays after he looks hurt. Then they call a QB keeper? Who does that? I'm fascinated to see how Daniel Jones is going to work in this whole situation. Pat McAfee did not renew his season tickets. If that's any indication of how Colts fans are feeling, I really don't know if it is or not. Let me know in the comments. Jonathan Taylor is great though. So is Zaire Franklin. Up next, we have the Raiders. I love what the Raiders have done in the offseason. They go from Aiden O'Connell as their quarterback to Geno Smith. They still have the 6th overall pick. You could go anywhere with this pick now. You could get a Shedeur Sanders, let him sit behind Geno. Or you could get a dynamic playmaker. You have one of the best tight ends in the game in Brock Bowers. One of the best edges in the game in Crosby. We'll see what Pete Carroll can do, but he's got some great building blocks. Did they do Antonio Pierce dirty though? That's what I want to know. Let me know. Up next, we have the Bears. This is basically a Caleb Williams story. His rookie debut was not really what a lot of Bears fans hoped for. He doesn't really look like the savior. I don't know if he's the Isan El Gaib. See what the offensive guru Ben Johnson can do with him now that he's head coach over there, but he has a long way to go. There's one fan base that's down bad. Duval. Anytime your QB1 goes down, don't expect much for the season. Pretty much what happened with the Jags last year. But it's also kind of what's been happening every year with the Jags. Not the injuries, just low expectations. To be fair, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback that's come out of his class. That's not saying that much though. The Jags were ranked 31st in total defense last year. Trevor Lawrence can't do too much about that. Also, Shad Khan is the owner, which I'm told is not a good thing. Tennessee Titans at 26. Will Levis is not the answer. I said this. People did not believe me. Now you know. The good thing about the Titans and why they're not lower is because they have the 1st overall pick if they want, they can get their quarterback of the future in Cam Ward, who I think is the best quarterback in this draft. Honestly, though, I'm still mad at this team for trading A.J. Brown to the Eagles. Why, bro? Like, why? Take care of Tony Pollard first. This team would have been lower had they had signed Aaron Rodgers. But the Jets need a quarterback. Or do they? They have Justin Fields, and I think this is an inflection point on Justin Fields' career, honestly. This could either be a great fit, or he could descend into obscurity if it doesn't work out here. They've got great talent, though. They've got Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. They got Sauce on defense. Quinnen Williams, I love him. Who hates Quinnen Williams? With that being said, the reports coming out about ownership are very troubling. Letting your kids decide which players stay based off their Madden rating is an interesting choice. Derek Carr might not be able to play all next season. That's why the Saints are here. Is Spencer Rattler the answer, though? I follow this man in high school. He could be. We'll see. There's some talent there. Homecoming for Brandon Cooks. Chris Olave is nice. They can make some noise. The Carolina Panthers. They went all in. Okay, they really did. 2 first-round picks. 2 second-round picks. DJ Reed. All to move up to get Bryce Young? I mean, if it would have worked out, they would have called them geniuses. But it has not. This looks especially garbage considering how well CJ Stroud has been doing. But we'll see. We'll see who ultimately wins in the long run. The New England Patriots. They fired their head coach after he called their team soft. After 1 year. Rod Mayo, he could have been right. Really no way to evaluate what you have with Drake May. You don't really have the skill positions to get a good evaluation. Some Patriots fans think they traded away the better quarterback in Joe Milton to the Cowboys. Appreciate it. Ever since Brady left, this team has been in shambles, and I expect them to remain there for at least the foreseeable future. Even if they somehow pull off an A.J. Brown trade with the Eagles for the 4th pick, don't do that. Do not trade with the Eagles. I almost feel bad. Almost. Winning that Week 17 game against the Colts. What are y'all doing? This is why I say pride does not matter. The pick matters. Get the pick. They could have had the first overall pick. They could have been deciding their destiny. Now it has to fall to them. They could have had Cam Ward, but instead they got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Oh, and more importantly, why this team is down bad tremendously, they just watched their former running back win a Super Bowl. And he just got extended. Joe Shane, how do you still have a job? Teach me your way. Write a book, please. I need to know what you've been saying and the way you've been saying it. You are a master at your craft, sir. If the Giants did nothing this offseason, they would be ranked higher. Giants fans are extremely down bad. And in case you didn't know who was going to be last, you should have known this. Everyone should know this. The Cleveland Browns. In fact, I only have to say 2 words. Deshaun Watson. Why would y'all guarantee this man's contract? Wild behavior. The only hope this team has is Myles Garrett. And he just signed because he wanted the bag. I don't blame him. Cleveland Brown fans are down extremely bad. And that is my list of the most down bad teams in the NFL before the draft. Where did I mess up? Where do you disagree? Who should be ranked higher? Who should be ranked lower? If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube too. Stop playing and tag me in your list. Like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Subscribe to the YouTube. No! Jugamos, Juegos, throw me the alley. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all don't know about that. I'm a grown man. If you serve at a restaurant, I have a newfound respect for you and your wrist strength.